So you want to know what it's like to wear oxygen or use an oxygen concentrator versus using an oxygen tank, and I am here to help you. Channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is JBay. I am a plus size content creator, YouTuber, and influencer. I make content about tons of things: plus size travel, plus size fashion, plus size lifestyle, and beauty. And today I'm making a video about oxygen concentrators versus oxygen tanks because I, as you can tell, am an oxygen user. I use oxygen therapy 24/7. And I'm accepting my journey more and realizing that there are so many young people out there, as much as elderly as well, using oxygen. I've seen babies use oxygen, elderly people, plus size people, straight size people, and everything in between. So just to preface this video, it does not matter if you're older, younger, whatever. I just want you to know, if you have to use oxygen, I see you, I understand you, and I know some of the struggles you might be going through. I wanted to open up and make this video to help as many of you at home as I can. So I have been using oxygen since 2018. In 2018, a few months after I graduated college, I became really sick and I ended up in the hospital. I had about 30 different hospital trips and a minor heart procedure before they could diagnose me with pulmonary hypertension. It affects many people. It affects infants, women, men, elderly. It does not discriminate against age. I have personally never met another person in real life with pulmonary hypertension. I know that as a young plus size woman of color, I get lots of questions about why I use oxygen, and I am now open about it because I want to help people and because I am in the public eye and I wear oxygen. It is something that people can visibly see, so they naturally have questions. However, I have gotten invasive questions that I've chosen not to answer, and you can do the exact same. You do not have to tell anybody about your health if you don't want to. And if you're young and you use oxygen, I'm sure it might be a subject that you're not really comfortable discussing yet, and a subject that you're learning to adapt to, and that is okay because it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm at, and it's been a learning process. So be patient with yourself if you're in this new process. And I really wanted to make this video because I know I was not able to find many resources about oxygen tanks and oxygen concentrators. And when someone asked me on my TikTok, at JBayOfficial, if you want to follow me, they asked me about my experience and what I recommended. If I would recommend a tank, a portable oxygen concentrator, or liquid. I have no personal experience with liquid oxygen, so I can't really speak on that at this point. I can do some research into it if it is something you want to know about, so tell me down below in the comments. I wanted to make this video because I am young, and I'm younger than the typical person that has to use oxygen, or at least what society thinks the typical age for someone who uses oxygen is. And I wanted to make a video so that people could relate because I am 24. There are so many conditions that require people to use oxygen. Don't let someone tell you that you're too young to be using it or whatever. People will assume things about your health, and let them assume. You don't even need to give them an explanation. But I basically just wanted to show you guys that there is someone young out there like me using oxygen who's plus size. I have other chronic illnesses on top of pulmonary hypertension. I just wanted to show you that there is someone that's like you, or similar in age, or similar in size, or similar in gender, whatever it is. Someone like you out there is using oxygen. You are not alone. There's not a whole lot of diversity when it comes to oxygen resource websites or anything. You see the imaging that usually pictures older people. So I just wanted to show you I'm young and I use oxygen. You do not owe anyone an explanation for existing on this earth. You deserve to live the best life possible. Without further ado, let's just hop right into this video and let me explain to you the difference that I've seen between an oxygen tank and an oxygen concentrator. Alright, so when I was put on oxygen in 2018, to be completely honest with you, the ER doctor didn't really explain to me why I was going on it or what the difference would be in my body. And honestly, when I started out on oxygen, I thought it was a very temporary thing because they didn't know what was going on with me, and I thought that my health would get better immediately and all of this. So I didn't ever imagine going on oxygen or being on it long term, but here I am. So this is your basic oxygen tank. This is what a lot of people use. This is what I used up until the beginning of this year in January 2021, and this is what they gave me when I left the hospital. These are more of your portable. This is like if you're on the go, you're outside your house, this is usually what you're going to use. And they have these bags. In here you can see I have an oxygen tank already, and this right here is an oxygen cannula. That is what connects to the oxygen tank and gives you oxygen. So what I'm wearing right now is an oxygen cannula. So they gave me this, and they also had a technician come into my home and set up a really large concentrator that you use inside your home that's not really portable. If you're going on a long vacation, you can definitely take it if you're going on a road trip, or you can even probably check it for free as a medical device if you're going on a plane. My fiance and I did some research real quick, and we did find out that it is possible to take your big concentrator and check it as a medical device when you go on a plane. However, it's not recommended because obviously bags get damaged, and so if that's your concentrator, it's an expensive item and it gets damaged, that would be a lot for you to replace and then to be liable for. So if you're in a similar situation to me, you will probably have a giant concentrator that you keep in your home that is stationary, and you'll have longer cannulas that you can use to walk around your home, things like that you won't really take anywhere. These are portable tanks that you would use if you're going out, if you're going to school, you're going to work, you're going on a drive, whatever it may be. This is probably what you're going to use normally. And as you can see, it has a safety seal tab to make sure that you know it's a new bottle. So it'll just have that safety pull tab. And then here, as you can see, this right here is a regulator. So this is what you would screw onto here. You can see that there are holes right here. I don't know if you can see it, but there are two little holes where the regulator will go ahead and plug into, and it's going to tell you how much oxygen, what level it's at, this tank is at. So if it's in the red, you're near empty. If it's in green, you're looking good. And then on this side of the regulator, I know it might be a little bit hard to see, but you can see these numbers. These numbers are going to indicate what liter is going to be pumped out. With a tank, you actually can get up to 5 liters or 2 minutes of continuous airflow. And with these though, if you leave it on continuous, they run out really fast. So be sure that you just keep that in mind. So let's talk about that really quick. What is pulse flow versus continuous? Continuous is going to be a stream of air that is just steadily supplied to you. So you usually have your oxygen concentrator at home set to continuous flow, so you're getting as many liters as you need. Most at-home concentrators are much larger and they can do a higher liter volume output, and you can make sure that they stay on continuous flow, so you're getting a continuous flow of oxygen. One of the pros of using a tank like this is that it's a lot more discreet. And so I've been really thinking about students, college students, high school students, any student that might go to school. This would be really easy for you to put in your backpack. If you're a college student or high school student and you drive, you could always leave a few of them in your car just in case. You always have one. Instead of using this bag, you could slip it into your backpack, and these are a lot quieter. You'll hear a little noise, but that's about it. They are a lot easier to carry. They're much more quiet than the portable oxygen concentrator I'm going to show you, and they can do a higher liter volume than most portable oxygen concentrator units. And there are different size oxygen tanks like this one, so if you're going on a super long road trip, you can actually get one that's about 4, the equivalent to roughly 4 of these, maybe a little less, but it's a much bigger unit. It is very heavy, and so it's not something you would probably take to school. It's a pretty big unit, and you would probably leave it in your car if you're going on a road trip. Tanks like these can run out pretty easily, especially if you're using it on continuous flow. So one of the cons of a traditional tank like this is that you do have to worry when it's going to run out, because once this is out, it's out. Not like a portable oxygen concentrator where you could plug in or keep plugged in so the battery keeps going. Once this is out of oxygen, you're kind of out. So unless you keep a really big one in your car or you have multiple tanks you can take, this might be a little bit inconvenient for you. These right here are not really travel friendly in my opinion. I know as a young woman, one of my dreams is to travel the world, and that was a dream I had way before I ever started using oxygen, but it's still a dream I have to this day. These traditional tanks are not allowed to go on airplanes for obvious reasons, and that can really restrict you and limit you on travel, which is where a portable oxygen concentrator comes in great for travel, for road trips. You can plug it in your car, plug it in on a plane, plug it in wherever you're at if you have access to an outlet and you're charging it. Whereas this, once it runs out, like I said, you're out, so you have to get kind of worried about that. But the portable oxygen concentrator gives you the ability to travel on a plane. If you take these traditional tanks on something like a cross-country road trip, you would probably run into some issues because that would obviously require a ton of tanks, and obviously they're not the smallest thing. They're a little bit bulky, and if you already have suitcases and things like that, it's probably going to be a little bit hard to travel with this. So if you're trying to do something like that, or if that's a dream of yours, or if you dream of flying, if you can, a portable oxygen concentrator that's FAA approved will give you that freedom, and it's something I highly recommend. But I do think it's a little bit more suitable for travel rather than your everyday life. But that's enough about these traditional oxygen tanks. Now let me go ahead and show you my portable oxygen concentrator that I recently got earlier this year. Let's talk about this bad boy right here. This is my portable oxygen concentrator. This model right here is the Zen O by GCE Healthcare, and I am forever grateful for this machine right here because it has given me the opportunity to travel again. And this kind of concentrator is the only one that is actually accepted on planes. So not this brand specifically, but portable oxygen concentrators are the only form of oxygen use that are allowed on planes, I believe. My fiance and I did some research, and it sounds like liquid oxygen, even though I'm not familiar, might not be allowed on planes either. So this right here, if you want to travel, and I know that's a dream for a lot of young people, and if you're watching this and you're young, don't think that being on oxygen is going to limit you and you'll never be able to travel again. This type of machine right here makes it possible. So I got my Zen-O by GC Healthcare from Liberty Medical. I will link them down below. They are an amazing company. You can find them on Instagram at Portable Oxygen Concentrators. I'll link their Instagram below too. They are an amazing company. I love the people who own it. I would highly recommend checking them out if you're interested in getting some type of concentrator. They have a very wide range of models, different things to choose from, cannulas, bags, all of that. This came with a hand cart, as you can see. So this is kind of like a little suitcase that I carry around when I use it that way. I am looking into bag options for this to use in conjunction with like a mobility device. If you need something like that, a bag is probably going to be the easier way for you to go. If you are trying to use a mobility device like a wheelchair or a walker or a mobility scooter, this might be hard with the hand cart because you're going to be trying to pull it while wheeling or whatever you're doing. So I will say that this machine right here can do 2 liters of oxygen continuously or 6 liters of oxygen at a pulse rate. As you can see, it came with a bunch of different chargers, different adapters, has things for if you're traveling in your car, it has a charger. It has charger for just a normal wall outlet. I believe there's chargers for different countries. If you're traveling to somewhere like that and you need a specific adapter, I believe those are available. And this one right here does weigh 10 pounds, which is kind of heavy, a little bit bulky, which is why the hand cart can be kind of good for it. But there are units that are a lot smaller, they weigh a lot less. This one's just right for me because I use a pretty high liter of oxygen. I've taken this bad boy everywhere. It's allowed me to go out into the woods again. I've been able to go on long car rides where it's plugged in and it's perfect. It's great for travel. If you're looking into this type of machine for travel, I think it's absolutely perfect. If you're looking into it for, say, day-to-day use and you're going to work or school, you may encounter some issues since it is a little heavier. The hand cart isn't as accessible. It's not going to be as discreet as your traditional oxygen tank, and it's a little bit loud and can be pretty noisy. Don't let any of that change your mind. If you want to get a portable oxygen concentrator to travel, it will be perfect for you. I highly recommend it if you're able to. It'd be great if you had access to both a portable oxygen concentrator and tanks, one for travel, one for daily use. That could be really helpful. For my amazing people that are trying to go to school, college, work, wherever you're going, this one is a little bit noisier. That is one of the cons I see with it. But if you're trying to travel and get that freedom of travel back and you want to go on an airplane, this right here, a portable oxygen concentrator, is exactly what you need. While I believe the ideal option is to have access to both, that might not be possible depending on your insurance. The insurance companies, I've noticed, really try and steer people away from this because they say it only lasts 2 hours, 3 hours on its own. So you have to have an outlet near you so you don't run out of oxygen. Generally speaking, in my experience, the insurance companies do not like to pay for 2 types of oxygen. So at that point, you really have to decide, which one do you need more? Do you need something for daily use more, or do you need something just for travel, or what is going to work best for you? That's just my little tidbit. The insurance companies might give you some pushback if you try to have both. It might not even be a possibility, but if it is and you're able to, I would definitely recommend it. Some of the downfalls of a portable oxygen concentrator are it is going to die if you're not connected to an outlet. It only has 2 to 3 hours max to really let you run. So if you run out of oxygen, it can be really scary. They are a bit louder than your traditional tank, which if you're going to school or work or somewhere where it's kind of quiet, you might not feel comfortable with a machine that's making a lot of noise and, you know, drawing extra attention to you if that's something you're worried about. Another downfall of a portable oxygen concentrator, or this one specifically, is it can't do super high liter volumes. So that is something to consider as well. Depending on what liter you are on, what liter you require, you might want to look into that, and this might not be the best option for you. And of course, as you can tell, this one is a little bit more heavy, but like I said, there are units that are a lot smaller and a lot lighter, so definitely look into your options. And if you have questions, leave them down in the comments for me. I will try my hardest to make sure I answer you and get the information if I don't know it off the top of my head. Knowing what I know now about portable oxygen concentrators versus tanks, personally for me, I believe that a portable oxygen concentrator is the best solution for me. I have dreams of traveling the world. I want to travel. I like to get out as much as I can, and this one really works for me. I charge it the whole time while I'm on my way to my destination. Then I let it run for a couple hours on its own, and once it's dying, I get back in the car and I charge it up. I do plan on taking this on a trip on a plane, so I'm going to be doing that. I think that either option is a good option, and you really have to assess what's going to be best for you. Each of us have different life circumstances. One thing that works for someone else may not work for you. Just kind of fill it out. If you have questions I can answer, drop them down in that comment section. Like I said, I'm going to be linking a bunch of stuff down there. I'll try and find some resources for you. And yeah, down below in the description box, I will leave a link to Liberty Medical's website and their Instagram, which is where I got my portable oxygen concentrator. I hope that you've loved this video. I hope this has really helped you. What I really want you to know and take away from this video, if you don't learn anything else, is it is okay that you use oxygen. You are not alone. Disabilities come in all ages, shapes, sizes, and forms. Your disability or ability does not define your worth. There are plenty of young people that have to use oxygen, and there's absolutely no reason to be ashamed of it. You deserve respect. Your body deserves respect just as much as anyone else's, and remember that. Don't ever let anyone shame you or make you feel that you are less than because you have to use oxygen for your health conditions. And you also don't ever have to explain why you use oxygen to someone. You do not have to justify your existence on this earth. You deserve to be here just as much as anybody else, and I hope that that is the one thing you take away if you don't take away anything else. And like I said, if you have any questions, leave them down in that comment section for me. I will help you out as much as I possibly can, and if I have to make a couple more videos, then that's what we'll do. But I really hope that this is a resource for tons of young people out there, and you are amazing just the way you are. But that's enough for now. I'll let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn the bell on for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and follow me on socials at JBay Productions on Instagram and at JBay Official on TikTok. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.